He's a true Philadelphia sports treasure, the Hound, Bob Kelly. What do you say, Hound? How are you, buddy?
Hey, Anthony, how are you? You're just as loud as ever, for crying out loud.
Always got the big mouth. Buddy, happy anniversary, just to start off.
Well, thank you so much. Appreciate that. And, you guys are so supportive through all the years, and as all the fans are here, so it's a great win-win situation for all of us.
You know, Hound, I was thinking about this and talking to the guys. We had Schultze and Don Selesky on, and what you guys instilled in the city at that point. Like, I think you instilled a sense of pride that was missing, and also a sense of love of sports that has carried on for the last 50 years.
Well, when we first came to Philadelphia, all we heard was, Philadelphia is a city of losers and stuff like that. Nobody wins in Philly. Atmosphere was down a little bit. I mean, look at the euphoria that's going on in the city right now with all the new buildings and everything that people have there. And I think that, to answer the first part of the question you had there, Schultze and the Bird and the different guys there, we all had jobs to do. We all knew what we were there for. We knew why we got drafted. We knew why we got the early sit down. We were built to go against the Boston Bruins and the St. Louis Blues. I mean, they used to just pummel the Flyers. They would get in the playoffs and get the crap beat out of them. So, Mr. Snyder and Keith Allen, they built a great team with a good coach and Fred Sherrill that, allowed us to go out there and play. And like I said, you knew your role. So it was good. And, we all had each other's backs. There was no one person stands by himself. And we used to always say 20 guys going on the ice, 20 guys are coming off the ice. So that's kind of the way we were.
What do you remember from that day? The day, Game 6 against the Bruins. What do you remember from it?
Well, I didn't play in the game, so that's how much I remember. I remember a lot of it. I got knocked out in the Rangers series against Ronnie Harris there, coming down the boards, and I got caught in there and got pinched, and I couldn't get away, so he tweaked my knee. So I missed the games in Boston. I couldn't fit on the airplane with a cast on. There's no place to sit in the Boston Garden, so it was a lot easier just to watch it at home. But Bruce Cowick filled in for me, and Bruce is the same type of temperament, good-sized kid. He's not afraid to get dirty out there. And he did a really good job. I did warm up for Game 6, and I was going around, and it's not trying to be humble or none of that stuff, but it's like, I can't jeopardize the team for me to go out there and say something goes wrong in the first period or whatever. Then I've hurt the team because I took a spot from a healthy guy, and I didn't want to do that. And I said, if you go Game 7, I'm playing. So what the hell? They got over with in Game 6.
How about the celebration? Don said that you guys wanted to go back to Rexy's, but you couldn't get out of the Spectrum.
No, you couldn't. It was, that was our go-to place, and only because, again, back when the Flyers first came in, that was the first watering hole going over. We didn't buy homes. A couple of the older guys had a house and stuff like that. I mean, we lived in, furnished apartments, condos. And, when you come over there, you get done practicing. Freddie would have us on the ice at, 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, and it's crazy why we're up so early there to do, but we just had a really good time, and it was just fun being part of the Flyers and watching everything come to life. The crowds got bigger, got louder, and the parade was just second to none. I mean, Bernie screwed the whole parade up, in case anybody didn't know or didn't hear, but he's the one that stopped the parade because he had to go to the bathroom on Broad Street. He ran into somebody's house. He knocked on the front door. He said, "Can I use your bathroom?" In the meantime, everybody's pulling away. There was no barriers in between the cars. It was just, slew of people there, people on the poles and everything. And it was just crazy. And I said, if he didn't stop the pee, Benny, we would have had the parade going together. But, that's just Bernie. He's just crazy, a lot of fun. And I'm sure the people, I think what I heard is that he had to sign the toilet seat when he left.
Well, it kind of speaks to the town's love affair with you guys, that who would have expected a parade, 2.1 million people would show up. I was joking because yesterday was the Italian Market Parade in South Philly on 9th Street, and they do the grease poles. Well, when the parade, they were preparing the city for the Eagles. If the Eagles win or the Phillies win, they grease the poles. And it started that day of that parade when 2 million people come into Center City and are hanging all over the place? I mean, was that scene just incredible chaos? Like, what do you see in your mind's eye?
Well, you're caught up in all the hoopla and everybody cheering and they're ripping your shirt off and pulling your sleeves off, reaching through the car. I mean, we were sitting in up in the moonroofs of the cars there, so that the people could get and see you, because other than that they're trying to pull you out of the car. But you know what? No violence, no shootings, no nothing. It was no looting. It was a perfect day for a parade, and it was a perfect the way that people acted in the parade was outstanding. And I think that part of the notoriety is, it's good that you're an athlete, and it's good that you can do this, and it's good that you've achieved X amount, but it takes the people to drive it. And when you get that kind of love affair out there for all the people, for our team, like, it was just a perfect scenario for a great day. And we cherish stuff like that. Those are the memories that'll stick with us forever, plus all the teammates and the coaches and GMs and obviously Mr. Snyder.
The fact that you have remained, I don't want to say relevant because that doesn't do it justice, but that you became these historical figures over 50 years. Like, people, I say the Hound, and it could be JP, who's my co-host, who's, early 20s. He knows Bob Kelly. Like, these people know you guys generation. What's that like, and why do you think that is?
Well, I think we try to compliment our fans and our people who supported us, and the biggest thing is getting out and doing stuff, and we still enormously give back. Buco right now back to the communities. I just finished doing a ball hockey in Ridley yesterday. I did one in Marlton before that. Our guys were out in the Learn to Play program. We're getting young kids involved there. Cindy's doing a great job for us, getting all the people lined up and the different groups that we can go out there and support, and just to show that we're in the community. Like Riley Cote, Todd Fedoric, they're out there. We switch around, help out when we can. We do the school recesses. I think we did somewhere around 30 schools this year, I guess it was, and we got DJ Hollywood in there. I mean, it's a full show, but it's giving back to the people, it's giving back to the kids, and not who we are, but what we stand for. And we stand for the city of Philadelphia. We stand for our team, and we support the Phillies, we support the Eagles big time. And back in the day, we used to play some softball games in the old Vet Stadium, and if you were bad, you got to go downstairs and meet Judge Seamus McCafferty. So.
Those softball games were legendary. You guys had a softball team that you would barnstorm around the area. I remember it being like a big deal when you guys came around, like where you guys were playing, and there would be lines of kids. I remember being one of those kids, like you guys would be playing softball, and like it was like, wow, my God, there they are. We'll watch you play ball. It was nuts.
Yeah, we're multi-talented, and we did play in all kinds of neighborhoods. I mean, we're well treated. People loved seeing us come there, and we love to give back, do different things. And again, we've traveled. We're part of so many different things ongoing down here. The department is unbelievable, the way that they've pulled things together, and who we can support, what we can do, how can we help the city out better. The grants that we're giving out here. Cindy has all those numbers, but it's just wild the way that they've gravitated and haven't forgot. And people come up, hey, yeah, I remember you. I said, you weren't even born back then.
Well, Bob the Hound Kelly, there was a great story that Don Selesky said earlier. He said that Phil Esposito said to him on the ice, he said at the end of his shift, we're not scoring on that kid. And that kid, of course, was the great Bernie Perrant, who joins us. So hey. What do you say, Bernie?
Hey, how are you guys?
Hello, Froggy.
I want to say something. Bob Kelly looks like a movie star, for God's sake.
He does, man. He's in great shape. Look at him, Bernie. Well, you're always,
yeah.
But listen, you're always nobody's like you. I mean, you.
Hey, wait a second. If Bob would have been in shape he is now when he played, we would have won 2 more Stanley Cups.
No, knowing you, Clarkie would have said, stay on the bench, kid. You played well,
God.
Bernie. We just had to send you to Toronto to get your season, so you knew what the hell you're doing in the goal.
Yeah, yeah, you're kidding. Yeah. Oh God.
Happy
The
anniversary,
greatest.
Bernie.
Ah, you know what? It's hard to believe. You know what's hard to believe? First of all, 50 years since we won the first Stanley Cup, and you know what? And we have to be so grateful, Bob, that there are still a lot of guys still living from those years, and that's 50 years ago. You know, and they just a beautiful thing. As a matter of fact, I talked to Clarky this morning. You know, and. That was good. I haven't talked to him in a long time. That was good talking to him
You call
and
collect?
looking. Yeah. Oh, definitely. Sure. Sure. So anyway, go ahead.
What did you guys talk about? What was that? What was that like? I mean, that you guys are bonded for life
Yeah.
from those teams.
Yeah. So the one disappoint you, Hound, but when we die, we're going to heaven and we'll be together forever.
It better
But
be a big angel
yeah.
carrying us, buddy.
Yeah, yeah. But you know what? With Clarky, I had a chance to talk. It was the first time I talked to him in a long time, and yeah, it was good. It was good to hear his voice, and I thanked him because without Clarky, we don't win the Stanley Cup. That the
Well,
leadership that he had was just incredible. Yeah.
yeah.
So Bob said that during the parade, you had to go to the bathroom, so you stopped and you ran on Broad Street and you knocked on somebody's door to use their bathroom.
Right, right. They uh, the guy said, "Get out of here," you know. Then his wife came in behind him and she said, "No, no, no, you're welcome. Go ahead, use the bathroom." Yeah. So, but you know what? I'll never forget. I sat in the front seat of the what do you call this?
Car.
The float, the float, and and the guy said, "You're sitting way up front. There's one seat open." So I went way up front, sat, and I realized I'm sitting next to Frank Rizzo. Okay, you remember Frank? So,
Man,
so now we get going and through Broad Street, 2 million people, and I'm looking at Frank, and he's looking at the top of the buildings all the time. I said, "Frank," I said, "What the f are you looking at?" He said, "I'm looking for snipers." I said, "Billy." I got up. I said, "You're on your own, buddy."
Hey,
Oh
Bernie,
that's
God.
crazy.
Bernie, did you sign the toilet seat when you left?
Oh yes, I did. Yeah, and
Memory, baby, memory.
and then I think the woman got like $50 for her or something. So I said, "No shit." I said, "Yeah, yeah." So so anyway, hey Bob, you know what? Let's be grateful the good times we had. And
You know
and you
what?
know what? You know what? We paid the price too to win those two championships. So,
When
but
you when you look
go
when you
ahead.
when you look back at the team and you got the Van Imps and you got the Ashby back there, you had the Hillman brothers in there, and you had Ross Lonsberry, you had guys that up and down the lineup. I mean, they're hard to replace because they're just such hardworking guys. They play for the team. Never a bad
Yeah.
word. Wherever we would go, we land in a different town. You better have 20 seats sitting there ready because 20 guys are going to come and have a beer, have a soda. Then they'll hang for a little bit and then get up and leave. But everybody gets together, you hang together, you're just part of it, and nobody lets anybody get out of control or wild or anything like that. So it's just a great situation with a great bunch of teammates that we'll never forget.
How good, Bob, was Bernie? Like, I don't think people understand, younger people, just how great of a goalie that Bernie was during that period of time. As he had Dryden and Cheevers, and Bernie was the man.
Yeah. Well, the World Hockey League didn't do him much good over there, so I'm glad we got what we got out of him. Anyways, he's certainly one of the best goaltenders. We used to piss you off all the time because you'd go in there to take a shot on him, and then he'd catch the puck and throw it back. Here, try again, kid. I mean, it was, he come up with so many different crazy things to do in the locker room, keep people, in tune, and just going to help each other out and having fun. And what prank can I play next? And he had lots of pranks.
Well, you guys were so close. I mean, the thing that really stands out is just how tight that you guys were. Like that you guys were always together, whether it's the off season playing softball or going to the Phillies game or whatever, or during the season and playing. I mean, you guys were always, it's seemingly together, and there was no egos. And you had great players like Bobby Clark and goal scorers like Reggie Leach and Rick McLeish, and it felt, very unified.
Yeah, it's hard to narrow it down other than wherever one person went, everybody would go. That was our family. The locker room was our family. We came from Canada. We came from all over, and the guys in the locker room, that's our family. That's who you want to get there and be there. And then of course you got Rexy's bar across the bridge, so you can go there and have a beer after.
Yeah. All right, real quick, I just want to do one little exercise with you, and that's when I say the name, what comes to your mind? And maybe a quick anecdote or a quick story. So if I say Clarky to you, what's the first thing comes to your mind?
Well, they took a chance on him to get him here in Philadelphia. It worked out great. Great sight by Keith Allen and Ed Snyder together, and how to do there. And work ethic second to none. And when Freddie first came on the scene, this quick story. When Freddie first came on the scene, we're out there doing a drill and all that stuff, and Clarky said, "Jesus Christ," he says, "this drill doesn't make any sense whatsoever." So he skates up to Freddie and he goes, "Freddie, this drill makes absolutely zero sense." He said, "Yeah, I know. I was waiting for somebody to come and tell me that it was no good." So, I mean, he was setting the guys up to see what kind of a response they would come back. He said, "It doesn't make any sense. You have to do things the right way." I mean, he's the one that used to go over and study the Russians, and when the Russians came to town, that's a whole story that all you guys know about. But they were afraid of who we were, and Freddie prepared us. Freddie prepared us for the Russians in the right way and what to do. And then when we got ready to play the Boston Bruins, Freddie said in the locker room, he said, "Well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to give the puck to Bobby Orr." I said, "Why the hell would we give him the puck? That's the last guy you want having the puck." But he said, "You're going to dump the puck in the corner. I want you to bump him. I don't want you to do anything dirty. Don't stick him. Don't elbow him. Don't take stupid penalties." And he said, "He'll start to tire out after the second game because he plays so much ice. So make him work. Make him turn and work." And it worked. So you got to believe in the man.
You mentioned the Russians and that point in time. I mean, it's the Cold War, right? They had been killing everybody across the NHL. That Red Army team had barnstormed across the NHL, across North America, and you guys were the only hope of the league. And that game, and I know so much has been done on it, but it's such an amazing story of how you basically stood up for America. It was that. The gravity was that big.
Yeah, there was definitely no love in there for the other team, and we won it for the team and for our fans. We didn't win it for anybody else outside of Philadelphia. And I mean, you got fans out there, but we had a mission to do, went and did it. And I think the thing that you can ask Clark if you get an opportunity at some point in time is that when the whole NHL heads, not Bettman, whoever was in there, he hated us too. But anyways, they came in the locker room. "Hey guys, we got to win. We got to do this." It's like, get out of here. We know what we have to do. We don't need you guys in here. You're showboating yourself. Get out. So it's kind of the way we left it with the NHL.
That's awesome. How about Schultz? We talked to Dave a little earlier. It was interesting because he said, I never got into a fight out off of skates, right? I didn't fight. I didn't even know how I was tough. And, he was almost like this unwitting tough guy, policeman, the great Dave Schultz. What comes to mind with Schultz?
He was just a tremendous competitor. He's a really tough kid. He could fight. He's got that good prairie chicken skin. He doesn't cut. So he got that wind. You're used to that wind in your face, most of the day. But Dave is an awesome guy to play with, do anything for you. He was always there to help out. Him and Rick McLeish were very, very close. And, nothing but great things to say. I mean, there's not one guy we play with that we really, maybe one or two, but that you had problems with. But we just had a super team that you wanted to be part of, and you worked hard to stay in that position.
And then Barber and Leach and McLeish. I mean, how talented. Like those guys, we almost overlook because of the bullies thing, how great of players that those guys were.
Well, intimidation was a big part back in the day. Going into the Spectrum there, like you hear the stories about the teams coming over the bridge in buses, and all of a sudden the buses get quiet, and everybody goes quiet. But again, it's a sport that we did it because we had to. It was time to stand up, and it was time to take control, and we enjoyed playing. We liked the rough style of hockey to play.
Do you ever think 50 years that you guys would still have this kind of stay? Like we talked about it earlier. But here it is. It's your anniversary, and you're being celebrated, and you should be.
Yeah, we like I said, it's a close group. As an alumni, we have a big golf outing coming up here at DuPont coming up here in a few weeks. We have our fantasy camp coming up here in August. We've got 74 guys coming in town from all over North America. Giving back. Brad Marsh, every kid deserves a bike. Adaptive bikes that we get made in Winnipeg cost anywhere from $5,000 to $8,000 for the young kids who've never had a bike before. They get on there to ride. And the list just goes on. And Brad Marsh has done a tremendous job leading us down here as far as different things to do and how to get, to run, walk, different things that we're involved in that people can get involved in and come and hang with us. We're not bad people. We just like to have fun. So it's really good. And like I said, I can't say enough about Brad Marsh and Rob Bear, who does all the minor hockey, the youth hockey. He's involved with all that stuff. And we're out there in the community. That's where we need to be. We need to be out there trying to help organizations just go in there and put a staple on. Hey, we are here to have some fun. And like I said, yesterday I had a good time in Ridley. Great kids, great parents, just go and have fun. It's part of being who you are.
Bob, thank you so much, my brother. I appreciate it. It's always great connecting with you. You look fantastic. So happy anniversary, pal.
You know what? We're very proud that we're here this long, and thank you guys for all you did for all the years. You took a lot of crap coming in locker rooms back in those days.
Great stuff, brother. Thanks, pal.
We all silly like the mayor.